All right, 5 o'clock on a Monday. Let's do this. Let's hit the books. Part of the Hammer Betting Network, sponsored by FanDuel, alongside the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joey Knish. I'm merely Brad Powers, producer extraordinaire. Jason, at least he was last week. We'll see if he is this week. Before we get into the comments, recap last week's bets. Oh yeah, by the way, we went 8-1. And before we talk about an upcoming week 5 of college football, it's probably the best slate of the year, at least so far. Before we get into all that and some more best bets, let me remind everybody that we are indeed brought to you by FanDuel. And over at Hit the Books, we love college football. Our sponsor, FanDuel, loves it too. FanDuel is giving you a reason to lock in and place bets each week. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get 300. That's right, 300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. You can use those bonus bets on our best bets that we had, 8-1 again last week. Totals, players, props, whatever you got circled on the college football calendar. FanDuel is easy to use. It's safe. And when you win, most importantly, you get paid instantly. No waiting around, no hassle, no looking for Guido on the corner. Maybe shake somebody's pockets. It's going just straight to your account. So if you got a team, a take, or a gut feeling before kickoff, or you're backing our best bets, now's the time to back it. Just head to FanDuel.com/hitthebooks. That's FanDuel.com/hitthebooks and sign up to get started. Must be 21 plus and present in select states or for Kansas in affiliation with the Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as a non-withdrawable bonus bet which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope it's here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support. Massachusetts, call 1-877-8-HOPE New York or text HOPE New York in New York. 3 things I want to get to before we recap the weekend. Number one, speaking of the weekend, 8-1, 3-0 on the Michigan game, thanks to Mr. Knish. Also, speaking of Mr. Knish, tonight, before we get into it, because I know we'll try to wrap the show, Monday Night Football tonight, big game. Lions, Ravens. What you got for Monday night?
You know what? I didn't love it, but did play a little Lions. There was a couple, Ravens injuries, Marmaduke and that had me on some. It's dead number, but it took some 5.5, mostly 4.5 in the market right now. We'll see. I do not think the Lions defense has been up to par this season, especially on the defensive line. And they're going to need to be tonight, especially in the run game and that. So took the points, but not one of those that I'm dying to, bang down the door and take the Lions. I will say I'm banging down the door for the hat you got on there, my friend. Because
Jim Harbaugh's.
Jimmy Harbaugh's. Listen, I'm just this is the new Dan Campbell. I just bet Chargers every single week. So we'll see when they go into New York next week. But I got to tell you, he's got Herbert looking the best I've ever seen, at least in his career, and they're dangerous, man.
Bet on the Chargers. Bet on Dan Campbell, at least previously. Why aren't we fading the Titans every week? Aren't they like 3-17 against the spread? That's gonna be like the worst 20-game stretch in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, it's hard to top that. I actually, going into the season, I was like, maybe Cam Ward can be a little bit sneaky here coming.
They gotta fire the coach.
But yeah, I agree. They got to do a revamp.
This is a college football show. Again, best bets 8-1 last week. 8-1. There you go. Only loser was Eastern Michigan, Louisiana Lafayette total. Obviously, the parlay lost, but guys, I added up for the season. We've won half of them. 8-8 on the money line parlays as far as the so round robin them. You're doing good there. Really good was that Michigan line of scrimmage battle, which they crushed, and I mean crushed Nebraska at the line of scrimmage. So one Michigan money line, won the over there. And then also won, our favorite wide receiver that didn't get. I think he got one catch, didn't he?
Yeah, he did have a few targets, but he sucked so bad. I think he had two drops, one catch on 4 targets or something. So yeah, Mr. Goodwin, I got to tell you that I think they're a big time wide receiver away from being a real playoff contender this season. Because if you're looking at that game, dominated both sides of the line of scrimmage. Still love what I'm seeing from Underwood for the most part. Defense is playing better. They don't got any. I mean, McCulley's all right, but they got 1.5 wide receivers and then a bunch of guys who probably should be at Purdue or Northwestern.
I got 3 quick takeaways from the weekend, all teams that were super impressive. Number one, we'll start with the noon game. We were doing that halftime. Texas Tech.
Yep.
I mean, just smashed Utah at the line of scrimmage. Quarterback gets hurt, doesn't matter. Backup's fine. Defensive line makes a world of difference. I mean, nobody else has a position group like that in the Big 12.
Nope.
Texas Tech is by far the best team in the Big 12. And dare I say, good enough not just to make the playoffs, obviously, by winning the Big 12, but win a playoff game for the Big 12. So I'm not saying national championship, but capable of winning a playoff game. So there's that. Team number 2, Indiana smashes Illinois. I think it's number 1. Indiana might be maybe even better than last year. Keep in mind last year's team benefited from a very soft schedule, but I also think it's more fraudulent Illinois. We'll see this week. They got SC. Interesting battle already in the market on that one. And then the third team was also at night. Boy, Miami at the line of scrimmage looks like the best team in football. They got an idiot at head coach. If they didn't, I'd be probably putting them number 1 if he wasn't just an idiot. Because I mean, he messes around in games. He's trying to mess around in that game a little bit.
Yeah,
been up 3 touchdowns and it's 13-7 in the fourth quarter. And all that needs to happen is a mistake or two, a la, running out the clock against Georgia Tech instead of taking a knee, you're fumbling it. Last year I don't know. He never learns his lesson. But man, Miami on the defensive line, on the edges, on the O-line, pushing people. That's a good-looking football team. Can't wait for that Florida State game in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I will say a couple of there's some Carson Beck concerns out there in terms of I heard him over on C3 talking about his velocity. I saw a guy do a passing chart today, and it was basically 10 yards or less line of scrimmage. So if there's one chink in the armor, it's how much pop does Beck's arm still have in it? But I agree with you. I mean, just best trenches in the country, and in a year where there's nobody who looks like head and shoulders above the rest, that might be enough to get you there. The other question I was going to ask you in the after your rundown was, I'm not saying they will. I'm not saying buy a price. Is there a chance, and this is a crazy thing to say, a chance this Indiana team could make a run in the college football playoff?
Man, they're at Oregon and at Penn State. I don't know. They haven't really played anybody. I don't think much of Illinois. I didn't even have Illinois in my top 25. So I know they had a number 9 next to their team name last week on the AP poll. But again, I think they're fraudulent. But, man, they do what they do. They kick the shit out of teams that they should.
Yeah.
They played 2 legit teams last year and were overwhelmed. I want to see them playing a legit team this year and see what they look like. So I got to wait till I think the Oregon game is first before the Penn State game.
Yep.
I'm not there yet, but I think there's a possibility they could be better than last year's team.
Yep, I would agree with you. I do think the teams will level up.
If they're 10-2, are they getting the benefit of the doubt though? I don't think they are.
No, I disagree with you. Or no, I agree with you. The other is, I mean, if you go to our friends at FanDuel right now, the Heisman odds, the current favorite, Fernando Mendoza at Indiana.
Ain't buying that. I love FanDuel, but give me the no. Give me the no on that. FanDuel, please put up a yes/no on that. I'll bet the no.
To see that is, if you would have told me at any point during this season he'd be the Heisman favorite, I told you're probably out back having a few.
Jason likes my Ava. See, he's pointing him out 20-1. I'll tell you the 2 that I like. Jeremiah Smith, because I bet near that number.
Yep.
I don't mind that. You know what? That was 15-1 earlier today at FanDuel. Somebody might have hit that a little bit. Somebody's out there agreeing with me. I like a little bit of Gunnar Stockton too, because I like Georgia this week. And that leads me to the first game, because if you pop up the big Alabama-Georgia game, not only FanDuel, a couple other shops have this game. Georgia minus 2.5. Where you at on that?
Man, oh man. It'd be the only, this is one, like I think the right line is 3. So if you're telling me this is a game, the classic, like you want to lay 2.5, take Bama 3.5, I think that's right.
What has Alabama done, man? Beat Wisconsin. Come on.
I know. Beat Wisconsin. I will say it's a Georgia team extremely, extremely fortunate to get out of Tennessee with the win.
All right. We'll talk more about that game.
Yeah,
obviously.
I need to see this one. I think this is a watch. Dog in there.
Crimson Tide. Yeah. I will say this: Georgia has not lost 9 of their last 10 against Alabama. Has not beaten Alabama at home since 2003. That crowd that'll be an electric crowd. They want blood there. I don't know. We'll see if they get it. Market's not buying Georgia this year. I can tell you that. That was a hell of a throw. Louisville just took money in the market. I'm just looking.
Yeah, just saw that get steamed.
Back and forth we go on Florida State, Virginia on Friday night. Florida State, Virginia took money yesterday. Florida State took money on this morning, and now Virginia buyback. There we go. And
I know, and you know what? Just obviously market two-way, and I know people that have been on both sides of that game so far. So I think you're going to have that just like we talked.
Lay 6.5, take 7.5.
Yeah, not the most exciting caps in these ones, but I think at some of these key games, especially when you already see a little market go back and forth, and a couple of people we know that bet serious on both sides, I think you'll kind of get it. The key point being there is, if you're going to bet this throughout the week, either of those, you don't want to be on the other side of what we're just saying here. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to take Virginia, you need to be getting a 7.5, not getting a 6.5. So market entry on those ones. If you're going to be taking to Georgia, you need to be taking a 2.5, not a 3. So that's one of those big key on market entry. Again, we talk to you 2 hours a week here, Monday, Friday, but throughout the week, that's when you got to monitor and get in at the right number.
All right, to the chat we go. The real stars of the show. Drew, I've been a member for 12 months. Wow, what a year already. Cheers, gents. Yep, 8-1 last week. Been a good year. We got to win one of these money line parlays, though.
Yep.
I mean, we've won half of the legs. I did in the last year plus. Unbelievable. To the chat, super chat, nothing but an A fan. $20. First time I've caught you guys live. Want to hear your thoughts on this week's Thursday, Friday games. I'm currently leaning East Carolina -5.5. Wow, that took some money today.
Yeah.
Florida State -7. TCU if it gets to 3 or better. Lean Houston, Oregon State over 46.5. My preference would be I bet Virginia, but obviously at not that 6.5. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a bet. I have actually laid it with Arizona State, and I've laid it with Houston. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be popular. I laid it with Houston, but that number's long gone. I laid it with East Carolina, but that number's long gone. Mr. Chalk here, but at current, oh my goodness. Where am I at on current? I probably don't have a big bet at current. Probably lean Arizona State.
There was a quick TCU 3 yesterday. Obviously wasn't able to get a ton down on it, but grabbed a little TCU 3. At the current on EC, I could only do Army at the current. If you got in early, and especially if this is going to keep ticking. So I know 3-letter service released ECU earlier today. I know Army's again the quarterback problems and all that, and the deep, whatever they're.
And they came back though; they never quit.
Yeah,
you gotta prep for the option on a short week. I know what I'm getting from Army.
Yeah, it can. Listen, especially
6, I'm in on Army. I see a couple books have it.
Yep.
They still steaming the 3-letter service. That's laying 2.5. I can't. There's no way I could get there.
No, absolutely.
Again, I'm with you. I think Houston pounds or Oregon State.
Again, I agree. That took a little toll. I know I mentioned the total. I see there's 146.5 out there. I would tend to lean with you on only. I haven't made a bet on that total yet, but could only go over there. And we just hand up. I thought Oregon State would be significantly better than they are this year.
Now I got to fire the coach.
Yeah, and they got to run it back because it's funny. There's
hope. They got a conference next year, so there's hope. I mean, there's a pathway. Just they got to dump this guy. He's a bum.
There was like a quarter of fight in them versus Oregon. 7-7 after the first. They get it one drive, and then it was all toast from there. Like there was just that's one of the. I mean, total yards 585 to 147, 3 yards a play. And I know it's Oregon, but like, what are we doing here against enemy? So yeah, I don't have
The
much.
unacceptable game was Fresno State, and you just can't lose that game
Yep.
at home. All right, Charles in the chat. Back to the top. What a treat of games this weekend. We already answered Army ECU. Take me out betting San Jose State against Stanford. Also, don't want to torture myself. I bet Stanford in the game last year. Got hurt badly and 2-8 win total and the game. I don't have a great feel for that one. I actually want to lay it, but I haven't gotten to the window on that game. Did you do anything in that one?
So at least, you know what? No, I haven't gotten anything yet. I will say, even though they got smashed, Stanford's passing game, at least,
They got life.
Yeah, has some life. Culberson the last couple of weeks at least has looked like a functional college football quarterback. I think San Jose State is, I mean, the game. No, the game against Central's aging very poorly. Again,
almost lost an FCS team last week.
Probably we're down 14 over. So, an Idaho team that lost everybody. The Texas game, I mean, Texas was horrible in that game. So it can only be Stanford for me, but laying them as a favorite, it doesn't get me excited.
I'm pulling up to see. I guess not. I was just seeing our friends at FanDuel had 48.5 best market and price, best number in the market. I was thinking if I wanted over there because I am seeing life in Stanford's offense the last couple of weeks. Yeah, not a best bet. I think that's a bet maybe to be made right now though. Lean over there. That'd be my take. Another super chat. AM $1.99. Will Ohio State get any lower than 8? Do you think? That's a good question.
Yeah,
I didn't know we get this low, to be honest with you. I mean, it's ticking down. You and me on Friday's show live on the air took 13.5. Numbers matter. Boy, if it got down to 7, I'd have a big bet on the Buckeyes.
Yeah, I think you know what, you're kind of in that dead zone right now. 8.5 out there. There will be some
at the biggest books right now. Take the biggest action. It's 8.
Yeah.
So does it trick further down? I think it might.
I think it might as well. So if you want but see if that, sometimes it ticks down and then you get a release of somebody that gets it to 7-7. Maybe somebody comes in with a midweek release and it shoots back out to 10. So either way, I wouldn't want to, involved here at the 8.5. See what the market does. And then kind of be ready to jump either way. If you can get back to that, that 10 or a 7 on Ohio State.
I just watched the Washington State game before we came on. I wasn't overly impressed. It was 31-24 entering the fourth. What I thought was ridiculous was Washington was throwing at the end of the game with all the starters in. Was there bad blood or somebody in the chat? I didn't know there was bad blood. It's a new Washington State staff. So I know Washington State beat them, but that staff's gone. Williams and that with the Buckeyes on deck up, 4 touchdowns. They're throwing the ball. Unbelievable with all the starters in. Who have they played? I mean, Colorado State moved the ball on them. I don't know. Over? The Williams kid can play, and they got some skill position. But I don't think Washington's defense is that good.
No.
All right, back to the chat. Crestman, $10 Canadian. Thoughts on Texas A&M minus 6.5, Mississippi State plus 8.5. I have not bet the Auburn A&M game. I think that's a pretty fair line. I thought Auburn was robbed, not only, your backers by getting that safety at the end. I thought, come on, we see missed calls. Okay, call went against us. We don't see like 4 or 5 calls go against one team. Oof, that was rough of you. That was tough to take if you're an Auburn backer.
Yeah.
A&M off the bye. I'm still not buying them on defense. It's a third tough road game already for Auburn. And then the other one, Mississippi State. I'm kind of surprised all the love for Mississippi State. I buried the lead. You won head-to-head against me with Mississippi State.
Never a doubt.
Second half. I thought I had a chance for the outright at halftime. And then I looked up and I didn't even look up. You told me you texted me. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I thought you were joking at first. No, you won the bet. I'm like, man, I can't believe that. Down to 7.5 in some spots. I haven't bet it yet. I can only look towards Tennessee if it goes down a tick further.
Yeah, me too. And again, we have backed I think I've bet them every week so far this year, Mississippi State.
Yep.
And so they've been a nice cash cow early, obviously vastly improved. Now
Who
though,
they played? I know ASU. ASU they caught, like ASU was not ready for the experience in the first half. In the second half, ASU was a better team.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, that's one I would like. Tennessee at 7 or better more than Ohio State at 7 or better.
I agree with that.
I think that's one. If we can see that tick down.
Yeah, let's see what that looks like on Friday. Yeah, I like Tennessee. I'm not buying Mississippi State. Another super chat. Benjamin Rash 999. Chick-fil-A won national best chicken sandwich again. I love this. What's your go-to chicken sandwich? Are they reaching 2010's Bama status? You know what? I don't know if Chick-fil-A's got the best sandwich, but one thing you always get there is good customer service, which is just you never get anymore at any other fast food places. So
great point.
If you factor in that it's a decent sandwich, I like the waffle fries, but you're getting good customer service. You know what you're getting. It's tough to beat Chick-fil-A. Where are you at there?
I got to tell you. So, yeah, I'm in Metro Detroit area. There was like one Chick-fil-A within 100 miles for a long time. And anytime I'd go out there, like literally, this is probably like 45 minutes from me. I would go every once in a while. Yeah, and it had the allure, the thing. Now they're popping up everywhere around here. And it's kind of lost that. Don't get me wrong. I still like a good Chick-fil-A, but I agree with you that the chicken sandwich isn't like, oh my God, this is amazing. But as you said, the sides are great. They got some other options. You can get the nuggets, you can get like the parfaits, any of that stuff, the drinks. So all the way, all around, and great customer service. But maybe it's just lost a little mystique for me.
Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich underrated with EE in the chat. Yeah, I agree with that. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
It's just the other places. Popeye is pretty good when they came out with their chicken sandwich, but I mean, you can get unbelievably terrible service at Popeyes. So that gets factored in when when it's a box of chocolates, you don't know what you're getting on a consistent basis, where I know what I'm getting at Chick-fil-A, but I'm out in the middle of nowhere. There's no Chick-fil-A near me. So I haven't had Chick-fil-A since I moved to Ohio. So, oh well. It used to be one of my favorites, but meh. All right, back to the chat. That was a great super chat there. Back to college football. Jacob C was asking about Iowa plus 7.5. I don't know if the steam is done on Indiana, and 7.5 is actually not one of the worst prices right now. You get 8.5. And we saw so much one-way action in Indiana betting that game last week, like they knew the final. I'd wait if you want to bet Iowa. I want to bet Iowa. I haven't gotten there yet because I don't know what's the best price I can get here. I do worry that can Iowa keep pace?
Yeah,
because if Indiana's rolling, Iowa doesn't have the offense to keep pace with them.
No, but I will say, I know it was Rutgers, and I had some Rutgers in that game. The Iowa offense was, again, against a poor Rutgers defense, at least looked functional, efficient, not explosive, not great. But from what it was in the first couple of weeks, you saw some signs of life from Gronowski and the run game in that to kind of keep it going. So, but with that said, I know Indiana, market darling. I would need more like 10 to want to get involved.
I don't know if you're going to get that.
I don't know either, but I'm not.
What worries me is I watched the Rutgers game. I thought Rutgers was the better team for a majority of it. Should have won the game.
I agree.
It was a little bit of a misleading final. Not that I came away, Iowa sucks type of thing. I just thought, Rutgers play a little bit more clean. Should have won that game. D-Lee23 in the chat had Apple Cup over 53, BP Notre Dame over, both heavy steamed against, both got there with one team. Any clue what either of those moves were about? Notre Dame game might have been some weather, but I think it's a couple groups someone was telling me. And there's new groups every year. Just because they have market influence, just because they got deep pockets doesn't mean, and anybody can lose one individual game, but oof, the Notre Dame game was,
That was a
I
dead
don't, what did they see there?
rocking chair over from the very first kickoff.
Yeah.
Wasn't it over the total at half?
It was over at half. I don't know what they saw. I mean, if Notre Dame kept the starters in like Washington, they would have scored 70. I don't know. Speaking of Notre Dame, let's do quick cross promotion. I have decided, I'm sorry, because I know I'm going to be watching it. It's at noon. Notre Dame, Arkansas will be the halftime show Saturday.
I love it.
It's either that or USC, Illinois, and I don't know. That game.
Yeah, let's do.
We're going to do Notre Dame, Arkansas. So this Saturday, make sure you're tuning in, joining us. Halftime, Notre Dame, Arkansas. You can see probably, in my estimation, going to be pretty animated me. So I'll probably be fired up. But what I'm also fired up, cross promotion, is BetStamp. We love BetStamp. You know, we like to give a hard time to the other shows, and maybe we have a love-hate relationship with some of the other shows on this network, but we love, and I mean capital L, love BetStamp. And if you're betting with a pro-grade odds screen, if you're not betting with one, who wrote this copy? Oh, hold on. I got to read this right. If you're betting without a pro-grade odds screen, you're already behind. BetStamp Pro is the odds screen trusted by pros to move first and win at scale. And for the first time, I need to read these before. This is terrible on me. And for the first time, you can unlock the standalone main market screen without the full props package. It's just $99 a month when billed annually. It's built for speed and precision. BetStamp Pro tracks over 150. That's 150 sports books, including offshore exchanges, PPHs, other odds screens that, might not offer those. And as a Hammer listener, you're not getting the standard 7-day trial. You're unlocking a full 14-day trial to put it to the test. Don't wait. Claim your free trial today by scanning the QR code or hitting the link in the description. That is BetStamp Pro. And speaking of pro, I'm not one when it comes to reading that ad. I messed that up 2 times in a row. Back to the chat. Austin M. Does Tulane get off the mat and crush Tulsa? I lean that way. I wouldn't bet it now, though. I think under 14, that was a go for me. I didn't make that bet.
I agree. I think, a little overwhelmed in the Ole Miss game, but Tulsa, man, oh man. And I agree. I mean, at least they got the Okie State, but you had to get in at 14 or better there. We'll see if there's some buyback, but
there seems to be some love for Tulsa. A lot. That's been a darling in the market. So let's not bet Tulane now. Let's wait on that one. But I think if you see it throughout the week under 14, that's a go. Man, Tulsa did. I mean, they legitimately beat Oklahoma State. They ran on them, moved the football up and down the field. I don't know. Is Oklahoma State really that bad? Probably.
I know. Oh, I got our Western Kentucky with a Butte all-time cover for a game, and a game that they did not play very well over the week. Got outgained. And still got got home with the -8, -9. You know what? I had one, like, I'm absolutely best betting this, like, when we got on and it got steamed earlier today. I didn't think it would go. What's your opinion on App State Boise?
I was on another show and gave out App State.
There you go. Okay.
Best bet of the week.
Yeah. That's my favorite.
Somebody out there, because how I roll is I kind of wait. I record the show and then they post it like a couple hours later. And I try to time it with the tout service, at the same time, boom, and just blast the market. It got blasted in that 2-hour period. By the time that show got posted, it got blasted by somebody out there. This is my favorite bet of the week.
Yep, me too. Boy, oh boy.
I think Rare. I think they might be a little live. A 2-touchdown plus underdog.
Yeah, if it was still at 16.5 at FanDuel, there's still
let's wait.
Yeah.
Some of the numbers guys might be. Somebody's betting one of the 17s out there. Hall of Fame. If you're joining us from the great state of Nevada and you like and you're not a personal friends of the Hall of Famers, you can go and bet plus 17 at South Point. I think that's good. Back to the chat. Trevor's got a couple. The Damon Williams 50-1 Heisman. I do think this is a good week to diversify the portfolio because there's big games galore. If you got a hot take, you think somebody's pulling an outright upset, you think Dante Moore has a big game. I think taking a flyer on a couple of Heisman futures isn't a bad idea.
I will say this. I said this. I was doing a You Better You Bet spot last week. I think there's upwards of like 25 to 30 people who could still win the Heisman at this point in the season. And that is never, I can't remember a year where it's more like usually a month in the season, you're down to like 5, 6, 8. You know who's going to be there at the end. I mean, this could go, I could go, if you wanted to even go further down the board and sell me on, I'd be like Diego Pavia or something or any I've never seen a year like this with so many people in it. So I can't talk you off. I can't talk anybody off anything right now. I don't even have a real strong opinion on.
We're going to get a ton of questions on it. Until I see different, I still think it's going to be a November award this year.
Yep.
Just whoever performs well.
Yep.
There's going to be peaks and valleys for about everybody. If you think somebody's running the table, I don't know this year. I don't see it. Maybe Miami. Maybe the Buckeyes. Trevor also asked, on Kentucky this week, a go at 7. Yeah, at 7, I think it's good. They're at South Carolina. They're off a bye. South Carolina is off back-to-back losses. Not one of my favorite bets, though. But
no.
I laid it early with South Carolina. It was really cheap early, but 7, you bet numbers, not teams. I'm not there yet. Do you? I don't like really either team. They're both in my. I mean, if I put teams in a bucket, they're both in the play against bucket.
Yeah. But again, would I take if you had a flat 7 available at a reasonable price, I would bet. It wouldn't be a big bet, but it'd be a bet.
Bert Brownie's in the chat. Happy Monday, fellas. Does West Virginia at plus 10.5 do anything for me? It doesn't. I'm more on the other side, and I got to tell you, there's a book out there hanging a 9.5 right now. If you're looking at an odd screen, I bet I laid the 9.5 with Utah. I think they bounce back. Where are you at?
That's the only way I could play it. I do think I got it, and I don't want to overreact to one data point because it's a game you've seen against a Texas Tech team that I think is like levels above and especially on the defensive line as anybody else that you're going to play. West Virginia defense has been a little frisky. Can they do much on offense at home? Again, I would lean that way at 9.5, but not one that I'm probably getting involved in just based on where that is.
Looking lots on the Virginia Florida State game. Again, we'll tackle that on Friday. See where we're at on market. Again, that's a late 6.5 plus 7.5. A couple more super chats at the bottom. Nicholas, $2. Cal, BC, and Utah, West Virginia. We just talked Utah, West Virginia. Cal, BC is interesting. We buried that one.
Is there a more shot? We didn't talk about that at the lead.
Yeah.
34-0 to San Diego State?
As a 2-touchdown underdog. So 7 touchdowns off the spread.
Like what?
I don't know.
I will say, if you just look at the box, it should not have been, a 34-point. I mean, it's a pretty even box. San Diego State a little bit better, it was better margin yard per play. But still, from what you've seen for Cal going into the season to then revert back to that, oof.
Is that one that, like, this is a team that we questioned the locker room dynamic and all that? Is that like a season changer? I think we find out.
We're going to find out real quick because then you got to, go across country and bounce back versus a BC team that's pretty electric on offense. I got to tell you.
I need a 7 to bet Cal.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem cheap on BC, though. What's this line? I mean, if that result didn't happen, what's BC laying? Maybe 3 at most?
Yeah. You're paying a premium on BC not to bet it now.
Yeah.
And that's 6.5 is not, there's better than that in the market. So don't be betting that 6.5. So yeah, I agree with you that it's a seismic change in 1 week that I don't want to just play back at it.
I see what Jason was queuing up earlier, but the Action Sports Central $5 super chat with all the people moving lines now. What days and time do you respect or not respect the big line moves? That's a good question. If I know who's behind the move, so I'm not going to sit here and trash anybody or not. But we used to respect the Friday moves. I haven't got it down yet. Boy, the Saturday steam has been wrong for the most part. It seems.
And you know what? I would say on the Saturday steam in specific, like if you're steaming a number on Saturday, you need so much money and influence to steam that number that over the course of the season, those groups are more looking to just do a couple percent, you know, and it's where when you're turning over hundreds of millions on a year, then you only need a couple. So the Saturday will probably level out throughout the season.
Yeah.
But you're not just looking like that Saturday steam's not going to go 58% or anything like that.
Good
But
point.
early in the week, I would agree with we'll toe the line here. I would agree with BP that depends who's doing it. And also, I think earlier in the week, you get maybe too much move.
Yeah, I agree with that.
On the early Monday stuff, if people are releasing it and it's moving, 3-4 points or something like that, unless there's an injury or something like should it really be moving that much? In a lot of cases, I think eventually you see that kind of level back throughout the week.
Agree. East Carolina Army game would be a great example. Too much. Respect the initial move, but nobody is 3 points better than the market right now. Shouldn't be. Nobody should be moving unless it's like you mentioned, news related. Christopher O'Donnell in chat. Loved him and sent him a woman. $5. Question for the 8-1 fellas. Do you guys still get tilted on bets? North Texas and Miami, Ohio, both crumbling on Saturday. Got me close before pulling it out. Miami, Ohio was tough. Unless you had the right number. Ooh, that was rough. I thought the roughest one of the weekend was in the NFL though yesterday. Oof.
Oh,
the Rams.
boy.
I mean, that's an all-timer. So not
That
only
was really an all-timer.
Yeah, that's one of the worst ever. So no, I get more tilted on Notre Dame games than anything. So I mean, do you really anymore get fired up over anything?
I used to. So I used to a lot. And maybe it's age. Maybe it's being off as much caffeine as I used to take.
Except weather delays.
Yeah, I was going to say the weather delays give me where if you're watching a game, then there's a bolt of lightning 100 miles away. You got to wait 2 hours. So yeah, that's annoying. But I mean, hey, listen, I'll still get irritated. Am I flipping tables and stuff anymore? Not really. And the other. The Miami, Ohio, they lost, I think, within 10 plays of each other. Finn, the starting center, and their best, one of the best players on starting, cornerback. They were going to, absolutely run away with that game.
They were going to crush them.
Yeah.
The play that Finn got hurt, he threw a pick six, because otherwise you're looking at maybe 24-3 at halftime. And they're still up by 2 touchdowns entering the fourth. I mean, that was just going to be, nothing's ever easy. It's just, I think the big takeaway is UNLV is still overrated, even at 4-0. When they're on a bye again this week, so we got to get after them.
What do you think they're?
I don't know. The Mountain West is terrible though. What
that? What do you think they finished? They're 4-0 now.
The Mountain West sucks, so that's the problem. I mean, they probably might still finish 9-3 or so, maybe better. I mean, the only underdog role is going to be Boise, but I still am not buying. I think they got a couple of upsets in them, meaning upset losses. Speaking of that, we buried another lead. Mr. Upset loss himself. Nobody does it better, folks, than Mr. Jason Candle. 16 times outright as a favorite. Not in his career. We're talking since 2021. 16 times he's lost as a favorite. 11.
That one was so fucking bad. That one was so bad. They just let Western Michigan, who's terrible, just hang around and hang around and hang around and then blow it at the end.
That's what happens when you play that kind of style. Just a couple things go wrong. Boom, bang, you lose a game you have no business losing.
Yeah.
Man,
Mac might be a little bit more open than we gave it credit for. And I don't.
Yeah, Buffalo blew a game. Another fourth quarter. I mean, Troy had 0 points. Hasn't done
Ohio looks
0
like
points in like 6.5, 7 quarters with the backup, and they scored 3 touchdowns in the fourth. How'd you like that team total under?
Yeah.
Lose that one. I had it too. Oof, rough. Not fun. We still went 8-1 though, so I'm not going to complain.
I will say, our dub keeps pumping CMU all year to win the MAC. I think they suck too bad. I could see, but Ohio's cream of the crop. I could see somebody else making.
Let's pull that game out. Speaking of the MAC, they're playing BG this week. The alma mater. FanDuel's got 9.5. Where you at on that game?
Man, oh man, you want to? I can.
That's bad. Ohio minus 9.5.
Yeah. Oh. You see me reaching for the phone there.
Best bet. Yeah, I knew it as soon as I heard I heard some rumbling. So,
I'm with you on that.
Best bet Ohio minus 9.5. First best bet. I bet. Full disclosure, I laid 10, thinking it was going to close above 10. So there we go. The traders are watching. I still find a 9.5 at a couple shops.
Yep.
I think it closes above 10. So I think Ohio didn't have a great performance. Makes sense. They played 3 good teams, played an FCS team, but they got the offense going. I don't think BG can keep pace offensively. So
and it was, I mean, game versus Gardner Webb, or you're kind of just so I agree. I think they get back to
the market. You got to pay attention to the market. Even the FCS game last week, Ohio took a ton of steam. Against the Buckeyes. I think they'll take a little bit of steam here. They just got some.
Yeah.
Oh, that ain't good. Max, $10 in the super chat. First off, curious on your thoughts on these cappers on social media and how they influence the market with their locks. Also, Joey K, very lucky New England doesn't have an O-line or D-line. Or is that Nebraska or New England?
Yeah, Nebraska doesn't. Oh, okay. They don't have an O-line or D-line. They don't.
What about these? Does people on social really move? Are they moving markets?
I mean, I'm not saying it's not plausible, but I don't really know a lot of.
I don't know anybody in social.
No, that's just
markets.
Yeah.
We're on social, but we move markets. That's because we went 8-1. Did I mention that? Cadillac John, $5. Ball State victory lap on New Mexico. Yeah, Ball State, they got another late score in that one. Put that game over. There's bad beats galore. Should be good Scott Van Pelt tonight. Bad beat. Yeah. He should have plenty of material. But New Mexico minus 13.5 now. Whew, that was one. Another sportsbook opened that one. Did you get that one? Or are you the one that beat me on that?
No.
Because I sent the order in at 8.5, and he came back. Oh, it's 10.5. I'm like, and I should have still fired away because now it's 13.5. I can't bet it now, honestly. Rivalry game. I mean, I think New Mexico's the side. I know now it's where it should be.
Yeah, I'm with you. One that was hoping would stick around, but obviously like this New Mexico team, but now getting up to 13.5. It's not an explosive New Mexico offense by any means. And obviously, as you said, rivalry game, getting up towards 2 touchdowns.
I don't know what I'm getting with them because I loved what I saw from Michigan. I laid it with New Mexico the very next week, and they got outplayed against the FCS opponent. And then the very next week, they crush UCLA. So we'll see after the bye. I think we'll get a better idea what they're going to be about. New Mexico State's been up and down. They beat Tulsa, everyone's darling. They beat them.
Yep.
Got killed by Louisiana Tech. So good data point. Take a drink. Take a shot. Going back to the chat. Crestman's got an interesting game. LSU +3 last night is what he got. A lot of money on Ole Miss so far. I'll say this. I don't think LSU's their performances haven't aged well in the fact that their opponents like Clemson's. Honestly, LSU's performance against Clemson looks bad now, considering what Clemson's done the last 3 games. I mean, the fact that was a game in the fourth is bad. I mean, beating Florida. I mean, they got outplayed by Florida. If DJ Lagway throws 2 interceptions or 3 instead of 5, they might lose to Florida. I mean, Florida got they played hard, but Miami punked them in the line of scrimmage. I mean, just beat it. It was bad. I'm not buying LSU right now. I don't know what I'm getting from Ole Miss though. Have you bet this game? I can't bet it. I'm not there.
I took a little Ole Miss at open. Not the favorite
Now,
play.
were you the one that flipped that one? Because I saw that one opened. One other book had that one. LSU opened 1.5. Are you the one?
No, I didn't get that nice of
All
a number. I got a cheap. Actually, you know what? Actually, now that I'm thinking, maybe it was 1.5. But I will say
You like the Chambliss kid?
I'm on the Chambliss bandwagon. I think he's an upgrade over Simmons. Like he adds more to the pat. Simmons seemed very like one read. If it's not there, take off. Chambliss gives me like the offense just a little bit more options. So I think I'm a buyer. I'm not a buyer on Lane Kiffin. I'm not a buyer in Mississippi games that like actually matter. But I think as combine that with the fact that LSU cannot run the ball for shit. But again, it's not one that
that's a good game. It is
a good game. It's not one that I'm looking to like really have a strong position
on. Back to the chat. Love Texas A&M under 7 from Action Sports Central. Jackson Arnold in that environment. I mean, he held on to the ball too long. I know the offensive line struggled, but maybe
their offensive line got murdered.
Yeah, but he holds on to the ball too long.
He does.
But I don't think A&M's defense is that good.
No, I don't either. I don't want to lay 6.5 here. I mean, I think Auburn's defense is real deal. Like absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Their defensive line absolutely shredded Oklahoma. And Auburn, you know what? I got to tell you, why is Hugh Freeze been ever? He can't get a quarterback who can throw the fucking football. Like you put a decent above average college quarterback on this Auburn team. That's a real deal football team. All they can do is like Jackson Arnold scrambles right now and throw it if they can get it out to Coleman or something and get some space. But like, I don't know. I'm not a Jackson Arnold believer, but I'm not laying 6.5 here. What do you think? I don't know where this goes either. I don't know either.
I don't have a good feel for that one. See, not well, we'll say it if we don't know. I haven't bet it. I don't feel. I don't think I'm gonna get to the window here on that game. I don't know what to think. I do. I want Auburn, but I think it's a really bad spot. 1990s handicap. I mean, third tough road game. A&M's off the bye. I don't know. I don't think A&M. I think A&M is going to be a little overrated after the Notre Dame game. Change one play. What's the line? Or, change one play in the game.
Yeah.
The Notre Dame A&M game. Gerard 999. What's the outlook for Syracuse and Clemson the rest of the season? I think Clemson buries North Carolina. I'm not saying they bury anybody.
Yeah. I think I said last week they might bury Syracuse. They lost outright.
And got buried.
Yeah.
With that being said, I mean, North Carolina is terrible.
They are. So, yeah. I mean, we had them in the round or Robin, like thinking that, but
you look at their schedule. I lean under. Go look at their schedule. I mean, what's the performance that you're really hanging your hat on? Whoa. There isn't one. I mean, Troy, they were down in that game. There isn't one game where they're showing any life, Clemson.
That's
the rest of with Angeli out. The market thinks he's worth a ton. I don't know about that.
That's what I was just going to ask you about that game.
So I downgraded him. Maybe I should downgrade him a little further. I'm normally conservative. I downgrade Syracuse 3 points for the loss, but I can't get to this 5.5. I bet Duke last week. Loved Duke last week, but I wasn't overwhelmed. They won because of turnovers. The turnover luck went their way for the first time this season last week. I don't know. It's kind of in the dead zone at 5.5. I don't know. If it ticks up a little further, I'm on Syracuse with the backup. I think that offense is very quarterback friendly. If Angeli was leading the nation in passing, I'm not saying Ricky Collins is any good, but he led him. He went down very important touchdown after Angeli went out.
Yep.
And then who's the Buckeye quarterback last year? Led Syracuse in passing, led the nation in passing. Can't think of the kid's name. He's a bum.
Oh,
who's their quarterback last year? from the Buckeyes. Why am I drawing a blank? Why am I terrible?
The chat's got to pick us up here.
Yeah. No, not those kids. He was a Buckeye court. Kyle McCord. Thank you, Casey.
Kyle McCord.
Yeah, Kyle McCord. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Good job. Man, am I getting old. Mike Sheeran, $4.99.
Went to Syracuse, looked like fucking.
I know he led the nation in passing heading into last week. What I'm getting at is Angeli led the nation in passing heading into last week. I think that system's quarterback friendly, and you're making Angeli out to be like worth a touchdown. I don't think he's worth a touchdown on the spread. Mike Sheeran in the chat, $4.99. Trojans giving up that bomb touchdown with 2 minutes left sucked. Should K-State be a 5.5 point favorites against anybody? Boy,
Actually, we talked on Friday. I actually had some Michigan State in that game, so didn't hate that. Woof, their defense. Michigan State. What the fuck happened to Joe Rossi? And
I don't know.
Man, they suck.
Well, the one guy got hurt, didn't he?
Yeah. Their best player, and then the other guy got hurt, and so Aiden Giles looked pretty good though. I mean,
I think we gotta. Did that defensive player have the green dot? Is he a guy with the green dot? We gotta react to that more. I think live game. If the defensive player goes out with injury or targeting with the green dot, I got to do a better job myself, even of that. Jesus, I guess somebody needs to get a hold of me. Sorry. Speaking of the SC Illinois game,
man, that's
Kansas State game. He was asking about that. I'm sorry, SC Illinois. They got two-way action there already. Early buys on SC, got out to 7.5. Buyback in Illinois. Gut tells me Illinois is probably the right side. Just totally embarrassed. Circle the wagons in this type of game. Bielema and SC traveling.
Oh my God, 7.5.
We got to do it.
God damn it! Yeah.
Best bet Illinois plus 7.5.
I know nobody wants to bet them after that last week, but
I got to bet that number.
I got to bet that number. You got a USC team again, cross country. I don't think their defense is by any means like really good. The offense has been rolling, but it was one of those just a typical Indiana snowball game at 7.5. I know a little juice there. Like you got to play.
Yeah, I like
look ahead. The look ahead number was literally like 1.5. Yeah. And now we're talking a touchdown adjustment with no injuries. And I know we've been calling Illinois fraudulent. And last week was the week they got exposed. And now the market is going all the way the opposite. And now they're a 7.5 point favorite at home. Come on.
I agree. I like that way he snuck that one in there. I didn't even see it. Otherwise, I'd have brought that up. Yeah, I dare I say this? I think SC might be a little overrated, and I'm Mr. SC this year.
I know, me too.
Defense might not be totally corrected.
No, I don't think it is.
No, and I gotta tell you, now because I got data points, I can start lining up data points and doing some compares. Offense against Purdue didn't impress me. Then you see what Notre Dame did against Purdue the next week. Oof. Not good.
And I mean, they've played we're talking Missouri State, Georgia Southern, worst defense of all time. Purdue didn't look great. Michigan State, maybe the worst defense in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
So
I just think this is a Bielema circle the wagons. SC 1990s handicapping here, but 9 a.m. start time. Do they play a lot of them? No, they don't. And if we do lose this bet, I'm not going to be afraid to come back and bet Mr. Michigan Wolverines against SC in the next So I think they might have a problem. I like Michigan at the line of scrimmage.
What do you think? People have seen a couple people ask. I got it. UCF, Kansas State.
Yeah, somebody asked. We got out sidetracked there. Do you know who's behind the move? Because Kansas State was it 3-letter service on Kansas State this morning?
I don't think it was them. But
I can't bet them, man. I know they're coming off the bye. Oh, the season reset. We got Corby betting them to win the Big 12. So much, all the hopes and dreams. I'm saying that's a joke, guys. But I think Central Florida is better than what I thought.
Week one, we both won and we're like, oh my God, this team's going to win 2 games. it's looked much better in the coming weeks.
But FCS and North Carolina.
Yeah. Now, granted, 2 corpses. This is actually, the Kansas State is by no means great. We've been talking them down, but actually the first real football team. I don't know in this one. I don't know.
I don't have a good feel for it. I will say my numbers right now say UCF's a play.
If you gave me, and I don't think it gets there, if you gave me a 7, I would take a UCF. Outside of that,
I
don't want to bet this game. Just like, to me, there's teams where they get, like, the team just seems a little broken on offense, and there's some, as Charles is saying in the chat, there was some quit early on, and maybe they reset, maybe they get back together, maybe they do. But that early, when you said the Dylan Edwards thing, the way they've played, the way with Army, I haven't liked overall in every facet how the team.
There's nothing you can hang your hat. Almost lost to North Dakota. Lost way worse in the final against Arizona. That was a 5-minute stretch where they scored like 2 touchdowns against Arizona. Other than that, they got murdered in that game. I got another game. Speaking of Arizona, what you thought of the Arizona-Iowa State game? Arizona continues to take money. It's 5.5.
That was one I really liked at the opening price.
Want to go head-to-head at 5.5?
What do you like, Iowa State?
I like Iowa State.
I can't do it at 5.5.
All right. Numbers matter.
Yeah.
You did win that head-to-head, though. I want to make sure I mention that, Mississippi State. Oh, speaking of that, Northern Illinois. What you thought? Nah, I want to bet Northern Illinois again this week. I don't want to take 2.5. That's 3 or better.
Yeah,
I really want 3.5, so that's why I probably shouldn't even talk about the game.
Yeah, let's let
that one breathe.
Yeah, hopefully the market comes in on San Diego State after last week.
There's already been back and forth in the market on that one. I think that's just going to be a price grab.
Yep.
People are going to want to lay 2.5. People are going to want to take 3.5.
Northern Illinois was doing their thing in the first half.
Yeah, they were.
They were doing the slow, ugly, we're running the ball. And then second half, they gave up a few scores. And the whole game, once you're outside the window, that whole game plan goes outside the window. Like that whole Northern Illinois style of football, once you're, a few scores down, especially in the second half, you're toast.
JP's, hopefully, I don't know how to say that. New member, appreciate you. I got to do another ad read. I'm sorry, man, because we're closing up the show. Obviously, a big Monday Night Football game tonight. I'll be rooting with Knish on the Lions. If you love watching the NFL games, but always find yourself on Twitter talking about the latest injury or big play, make your way over to the Forward Progress YouTube channel instead for the Monday Night Watch Along. I got to read these ad reads before the show, obviously. Rob Pizzola and Jason Cooper will be talking through the game, giving out best bets, responding to your comments. It's always a good time. Monday Night Watch Along, 8 p.m. Eastern on the Forward Progress YouTube channel. Make sure you're watching tonight. Are you guys check in tonight?
You know what? I will
probably see how it's going.
Yeah. First half, if we're done, I might check in and start chirping. If we're down 2 touchdowns, then I'll be a ghost.
Yeah, that could go either way. I think tonight.
I'm excited to see what we got in the tank. This isn't an NFL show, but man, some wild result. I couldn't believe the Packers lost I thought this Packers team was going to be lost to the Browns.
Man, if you got on my end, the NFL Tout Service,
I saw the BP had a really nice NFL weekend.
The Rams ruined the whole weekend. We've been an 8-0 weekend. We did go 8-1 on this channel. So why pay for picks? You're 8-1 here.
There you go.
You got any final thoughts?
I was trying to see if there was any.
We only had one best bet. No, we had 2.
No, you got 2 in Illinois. No, I don't want to. There's one that was on the.
I asked you about Georgia. Yeah, I think everybody knows where I'm at on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, a big game we haven't talked about. We got to talk about this game. Oregon, Penn State.
Yeah. Good call.
Everything I've seen so far says Oregon is the play. I worry that Penn State's been playing possum. I worry that Penn State I've literally been prepping for this game all year. All year. They were 3 straight games of a 40-plus point favorite. So why worry really about any of those games? This is the game you're worried about.
Yeah.
So I will say at 3.5 though. I could only take Oregon. Where are you at here?
Same. Could only take Oregon at 3.5. I bet a little bit on the look ahead at I think it was 4.5. It's the only way I could play it. I do agree with some of the concerns that maybe it's just an avalanche at Penn State, like big game, their season, a major whiteout, all that crap. And but again, numbers wise, it can only be a 3.5 play for me. I got one. This is going to be outside the box, and I don't think we can best bet it because it's not the price in market at our friends at FanDuel. But where you at on FAU Memphis?
Oh wow. I bet FAU.
Yeah, me too.
Can't bet it at 13.5.
Can't bet it at 13.5.
Let's let that one breathe. See.
Yeah,
I think there's another. I already said one that's live. I think you got another 2 touchdown underdog that's live.
Yep, I agree with you. I'll put it like this. There's some 14s out there. We won't put in the best bet column because there's only a couple and it's not a FanDuel, but at 14, that's a play.
Yeah. Live dog, 2 touchdown underdog.
Yep.
I don't like the Memphis coach. So, boy, you want to talk another game? I mean, that was a joke that they won that game. Typical Arkansas. Arkansas won't have that happen to them this week because they're playing Notre Dame. And speaking of that game, halftime show this week.
Where did you? Now I know last week you were all aboard the Arkansas. You don't think they're really going to win this game, do you?
I gave them out as the best bet already, but the market's moved.
What number?
6.5.
Oh, okay.
Not the best. It was 7.5 yesterday. I don't know what I'm getting from Notre Dame defensively. It's a joke, but I know what I'm getting offensively. I'm getting the best quarterback play Notre Dame's had as a school in 15 years. And right here on Hit the Books, you heard it here first. You didn't hear it last week. You didn't hear it before the season. You heard it 3 years ago when CJ Carr was a sophomore in high school, when we're talking about old Papa Powers going and scouting CJ Carr games up in Saline, Michigan. He went and saw him personally. He said, yep, this kid's the real deal. Guess what? He is. If the season ended today, he'd have the best quarterback rating since they've been keeping it for Notre Dame football. Last I checked, there's a couple quarterbacks that played there. Last game I know is just against Purdue. Pro Football Focus graded it as the highest graded performance by a Notre Dame quarterback in the 10+ history of Pro Football Focus. Guy by the name of CJ Carr. We love him. Knish hates him. But going to be the first pick in the NFL draft in 2 years. You heard it here first. Clip that up. First pick in the draft, 2 years. Defense sucks, though. Just in time, I mean, just kills me. Jay Jones says, best show in the biz. Thanks, fellas. Right back at you. Yeah, I mean, you know what his biggest problem is right now?
I actually know somebody that bet
1 and 2 is his biggest problem.
Yes.
But if they win 10 in a row and he's like outdoing Mayava and USC and he's putting up monster numbers, problem is they got other guys. I mean, Jeremiah loves putting up numbers. They're going to have to because the defense sucks.
He's got
had he won the A&M game, I would be, you'd be hearing more out of that from me. Like, ooh, I'd sneak a CJ Carr Heisman ticket in there maybe.
I actually have some at that price that I bought preseason.
CJ Carr?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So this whole thing. So you badmouth CJ Carr for 3 years. I talk him up for 3 years. You're the one that has a Heisman ticket in your pocket and I don't. Oh my God. That is funny.
One of our mutual friends wanted me to grab some. So we grabbed a little bit preseason and then we thought it was toast early, but I'm not going to, I just think I agree with you. Like Notre Dame's going to have to win a lot of shootouts because they don't have
a lot of high profile games other than the SC game.
No.
Had they won the A&M game, I think there'd be more of a wave of movement there, but he's going to put up some numbers. Now, next year, you're going to have to beat me to the window to bet him because he might be the Heisman favorite going into next year. So
we can do a head-to-head next year.
Underwood's going to be good.
Hey, we can do Underwood versus Carr head-to-head next year for the Heisman.
Yeah, that's going to be great. Patrick asked about that camp quarterback battle. I don't know. You want to talk about the doghouse. The biggest doghouse for me is the Notre Dame beat writers. I mean, everything they reported out of camp is just wrong. Defense looks great, looks horrible. Offensive line looks great. I mean, it's coming around now. We got manhandled in the opener. I mean, CJ Carr sucks. He doesn't suck. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that was a weird offseason QB conversation.
I don't know. Was it close? Maybe it's just forcing him. But there's no way that Minchie was close to him. There's no way.
No.
Charles mentioned these beat writers across the country. They are, man. I can't count on it anymore. Remember, I would get like little snippets from the local. I got nothing now. It sucks. I gotta literally watch. I gotta sit there and watch the games myself because I can't trust any of the reporting.
No, I'm with you.
Or I can listen to Knish, or you can listen to us. 8-1 last week. That'll do it. I'm rambling. We'll see you guys Friday at 5. Great job by Jason. He did another wonderful job. I'm surprised he didn't interject himself in this week. I thought he was going to be making comments. There he is.
I wanted to say something about the USC game, but I'll save it for next week when Knish and I can go head-to-head.
I can't believe you didn't jump in there when we best bet against. You're producing it, and we're best betting against SC. We love SC this year. I just hate that spot for them.
I know, and it's also pretty big numbers, so I get why you guys are doing it. But it's all right. Like you're gonna have at least be 0-1 next week or this week. So
we'll see. I'm pretty confident after you said that we're going to be 1-0 in that game. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. For Jason, our great producer, for the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joey Knish. I'm really Brad Powers. Thank you for your comments, concerns. You just watched Hit the Books, part of the Hammer Betting Network, sponsored by FanDuel. See you Friday.